sector. We have Sumit Gupta, who's the AVP-Research at Centrum, joining in to discuss the entire hospital space where he has initiated coverage. Sumit, hi, welcome to the show. If you could just start by giving us a sense in terms of the hospital space as a whole, what is making you bullish on the entire Indian healthcare delivery market, and what are you estimating in the next, say, year on when it comes to earnings?
Hi, Ekta. Thanks for having me on the show. So, I'm bullish on the hospital sector majorly because of three reasons. First of all, if you see, we have a very low bed density. If you see per 10,000 people, we have nearly around 15 beds per 10,000 versus global median of around 29 beds. And if you see after COVID, you will see there is a lot of demand from the private as well as the government sector. So. And majority of the incremental demand will be coming from the private, incremental push and the bed capacity will be coming from the private sector. Second is the rising insurance penetration in the country. So if you see, only 4% of the retail insurance is actually covered as of now. So even if that particular insurance, particular sector, that will grow from 4% to, let's say, around 8 to 10% over the next 4 to 5 years, that will lead to incremental demand for the private hospitals. Third is the medical value tourism sector. So that is in itself is pushing the overall demand as well as the occupancy for all the private players. So these 3 and 4 factors are going to lead to increase in the overall demand as well as and you will see majority of the private sector players going towards increasing their bed capacity.
All right, but you know, you've initiated coverage in the hospital space at a time where it is facing some amount of headwinds. Right. Say, for example, the regulation of rates which might come through. There's that question mark with regards to what the Supreme Court is thinking. And secondly, we also have maybe some amount of disruptions coming in on medical tourism because of Bangladesh. So give us a sense in terms of these two challenges. How big are they for the hospital space right now?
So regulatory challenges always pose a risk. But what I feel is, as of now, India as a country needs a lot of healthcare infrastructure to be there in the country. So what I feel is there might be some regulatory issues as such optically, let's say for hospitals, ARPOB which is the average revenue per operating bed, that is very increasing at a huge rate. So optically it looks huge, but I think it's very sustainable, and government will also come and end up with the private players to push the healthcare infrastructure across the country. Second is about the Bangladesh issue. I think it's a temporary issue. Going forward, going forward also, we will see we expect situation to normalize on the geopolitical front. And then let's see how that pans out. In the short term, there might be an issue, but over the next medium to long term, we are positive on it.
Okay, what are your top picks within this entire hospital space where you've initiated coverage?
So Artemis is my top pick. So we like this particular stock on the back of it being over the next 3 to 4 years, we see an incremental bed capacity which is coming. It is a pure play brownfield expansion which is happening, 100% brownfield. Then it will lead to higher economies of scale and leading to higher operating leverage. And this will in turn improve the return ratios from ROE expanding from 12 to 19% over the next 3 years. So we are very much positive on Artemis Medicare. And if you see in my coverage space, the EBITDA per bed, for Artemis it is growing at a 17% CAGR, which is the highest across the coverage.
Okay, all right. And you have an add-on?
Add-on Max, Rainbow.
Okay, and Aster. And
Aster, yeah.
Why is that? Why is that? What would make you even incrementally bullish on these stocks?
So basically, Max, the kind of expansion that it is doing, nearly 75% of the expansion is brownfield. So one interesting thing for the brownfield expansion is that is it's a high ROC business and less margin dilutive. So if you see Max continues to invest in the overall, invest in the bed capacity. And if you see the kind of demand supply scenario we have in the Delhi NCR market, that is really skewed favorably towards the hospital side. So that will lead to overall higher operating leverage play. And considering the valuations, if I talk about be it Max, Aster or Rainbow, I understand that the valuation is huge, but that's why I've given a normal ad rating. So we have like kind of a, from valuation point of view, if I explain, so just like a PEG ratio that the industry uses, we have devised basically EBG ratio, which is EV EBITDA divided by the overall EBITDA CAGR over the next 3 years. In that sense, I see all these stocks trading at a favorable valuation, and Artemis and Yatharth trading at a very attractive valuations.
Okay, all right, Sumit, we're going to let you go on that note. Always a pleasure speaking with you or, on the hospital space. But we'll definitely touch base with you when there is more details with regards to developments in the hospital space as it goes on.